beginning, we've looked to inspire and nurture each other by asking, what's possible? What's possible when we connect? What's possible when we come together?
Kayla? Oh, is it okay to hug?
When we open our hearts.
This is like the best date I've ever been on.
When we grow together. After 50 years, we've learned that possible is just the beginning.
Lowe's showrooms have a variety of stylish flooring you'll love for years to come, like Stainmaster with lifetime stain resistance limited warranty. Order now. Get your flooring installed with help from Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility.
Someone in this room is disloyal. All my life, all I've ever been taught is to trust only family. All the dominoes fall in a row. Convince me it wasn't you who tipped the police. After Elizabeth's death, there's nothing.
Liz died for on the blacklist. Whether she died in vain is up to you.
This journey isn't over yet.
The Blacklist premieres next Thursday on NBC.
Later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes Jamie Foxx. NBC Tonight.
From KVOA, investigating for you. This is News 4 Tucson, live at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amanda Gomez. Sean has the night off. Country Thunder is finally back this weekend after a more than 2-year hiatus due to COVID-19. News 4 Tucson's Mark McGurra is live in the studio for us tonight with how excited people are for a weekend of country music. Howdy, Mark.
Howdy, Amanda. Yeehaw! That is right. People from all over Arizona and even beyond are making their way back down to Florence. We'll get there in a second. There we go. All right, for the first Country Thunder Festival in Arizona since 2019. Now, today is day one of the party. As you can see there, people are already getting it started. Now, everyone seems just ready to be back out there for a festival that they never thought would be taken away. The headliners this year, Dustin Lynch tonight, Old Dominion tomorrow, Luke Combs playing on Saturday, and closing it out on Sunday will be Eric Church. And you can see they're already getting started. But, you know, organizers say after 2 years off, they're just as excited to be back as these people we can see getting the party started already.
It's so incredible. It's so hard to describe, you know. We've been looking forward to this. We've postponed the show twice, and just getting back here, even in October, which is a little strange, but I can't describe it. It's smiles everywhere. People are happy, and we're just happy to be back.
Now, I know you and myself, both big country music fans. I wish we could be there. Luke Combs, Old Dominion, a great lineup this year.
I know. It's going to be such a good weekend. So many amazing artists. Hey, maybe in the future.
Yeah,
maybe
next time around. Yeah. Definitely.
Thank you, Mark. And everyone, you stay safe out there if you're making it out to Country Thunder. Thank you so much, Mark. Now to the coronavirus. Next week, Tucson City Council will discuss further discipline for city employees who have not been vaccinated. This means any employee who has refused the vaccine, employees whose request for exemption was denied, and those who did not request an exemption before the August 24th deadline. The proposal, if accepted, would potentially terminate employment for nearly 300 city employees.
So this isn't a labor relations issue, it's a public health issue. And it's not the political issue that some of the no-vax crowd want to make it. This is simply a public health issue, and that's the way we ought to be treating it.
Employees would have until December 1st to get their shot. An FDA safety panel has just given its approval for booster shots for many Americans who are fully vaccinated with the 2-dose Moderna vaccine. The unanimous recommendation applies to those 65 and older and others at higher risk of severe disease because of health conditions or exposure at their job. Moderna argued the FDA should authorize its booster for recipients at least 6 months after their second dose, citing breakthrough infections and waning immunity over time. But the FDA notes even without a booster, vaccines still protect against severe COVID-19 and death in the United States. At Raytheon, about 24 people were protesting mandatory COVID vaccines today. Last month, the company announced that it will require all employees to be fully vaccinated by January 1st. That mandate, in accordance with President Joe Biden's August 9th announcement, mandating businesses with 100 employees or more to require vaccination. We reached out to Raytheon this afternoon. They said, quote, "We respect the right to lawful and peaceful protests." The COVID-19 pandemic has been hard on everyone. Many lives were lost, and now United Way wants to honor and friends can submit names of their loved ones from southern Arizona who died during the pandemic from any cause. To submit a loved one's name, the online community is at TucsonRemembers.org. The latest now on a deadly road rage incident. Police say one person was stabbed in a fight on I-10 near Craycroft Wednesday evening. That person has been identified as 53-year-old Luis James Gallardo. We're told he and another man got out of their cars and then started fighting. At some point, Gallardo was stabbed. Police say bystanders and first responders tried to help, but he died at the scene. The other man involved stayed and talked to detectives. No arrests have been made at this time. Police are still looking for more witnesses who might have seen this initial road rage incident happen near the Houghton Road exit. If you have any information, call 88 Crime. The News 4 Tucson investigators uncover the violent past of the dead suspected shooter from last week's Amtrak train shooting, which left a DEA agent dead and 2 other drug task force officers injured. His criminal history now raising several questions. News 4 Tucson's Chorus Nylander has more in tonight's investigation.
Darian Taylor was found dead in one of the train's restrooms after a shootout with police. With his criminal history, some law enforcement experts tell me they don't believe he should have ever been able to make it onto that train. It was a deadly volley of shots that shocked Tucson and the nation last week, killing DEA agent Michael Garbo and injuring 2 other drug task force officers. The suspected shooter, Darian Taylor, killed by return fire. The News 4 Tucson investigators now learning Taylor was a felon out of Oakland, California. The Alameda County Sheriff's Office there confirming Taylor posted a $255,000 bail, having to pay around $25,000 up front in December last year after being booked for attempted murder of a police officer, which was then reduced to assault with a deadly weapon, as well as resisting arrest by removing their firearm. The sheriff's office says he was already a felon with a weapons charge. The News 4 Tucson investigators received court documents detailing the charges against Taylor. According to the documents, officers arrested Taylor for a warrant out of Sacramento for a robbery and assault with deadly weapon charge for shooting into a dwelling involving cruelty to a child. The court records say Taylor requested to use the restroom. As an officer escorted him and uncuffed him, Taylor lunged at the officer, trying to disarm them.
I feel that that individual should not have even been on that train in Arizona, should not have never even made it there.
Sergeant Raymond Kelly with the Alameda County Sheriff's Office believes Agent Garbo's death was preventable. He blames efforts in California to try and free up space in jails due to the pandemic.
We're arresting people on violent crimes, and they're turning around and they're getting out. And then they're going into other communities.
We really want to extend our sincere condolences to the family of the DEA agent that was fallen.
Alameda County Chief Assistant District Attorney Terry Wiley says in this case, the judge implemented pre-COVID bail.
I'm not saying that the bail was fair. I just think that when you look at the bail was not out of the norm. If the court had gone with the post-COVID or COVID bail schedule, the bail would have been much lower.
But Wiley says looking back at Taylor's case, the judge could have imposed additional bail for the weapons offense, able to add additional bail on all 3 counts, but instead only included bail on one of the counts because it was just one gun involved.
So if she had stacked the 3 offenses, the bail would have been $355,000 as opposed to $255,000.
Even at the lower amount, Wiley says it is unusual that he was able to make bail.
Given his record and his background, it actually was unusual for someone like him to actually make bail.
It kind of remains a mystery to you how he was able to acquire those funds.
Yes.
Frank Figliuzzi is a former FBI Assistant Director of Counterintelligence. He reviewed Taylor's criminal history and is concerned by his release.
This is someone who really should not have been out on the street, and it should cause all of us to wonder what's happening with the courts, what's happening with activist DAs, activist judges, and is there an overcrowding situation that's causing violent criminals to be bonded out?
We're continuing to look into cases of felons being released early. If you have a story you'd like us to investigate, email us at investigators@KVOA.com, or you can call our tip line at 955-4444. Investigating for you, Corus Nylander, News 4 Tucson.